Greetings, everyone. I wanted to first thank you for attending today's session, and I also want to thank you for your patience as it took me a little while to learn the system, being as we had the update just hours before our meeting. So this is just going to be a little more streamlined recap of what we went over, and again, I'm 100% available to you if you need assistance. Please make sure that you have this version. This is the most updated version that they came up with over the weekend or was accessible over the weekend. You want to make sure that you have this and your students have this. After talking to Mr. Noblet and Ms. Inman, and I too believe that this is a more user-friendly version of the program that you would want to use. So this is the new Zoom home screen. Actually, really do like this one. You have your chat, your meetings, so past meetings and upcoming meetings should be here. If you signed in Google, your contacts should be accessible for you. It makes it a lot quicker. This is if you want to set up a new meeting, could be immediately a new meeting. This is if we're scheduling one ahead of time. If you're joining one, when you join this, there should be some kind of code that was provided to you. And I'll show a share screen setting. And over here to the right is just letting me know what my upcoming meeting was at the time. So this is when we click new meeting, start with video. So when it says start with video, do you want to go ahead and start and participants are able to see you automatically? That comes up, you can uncheck that. This is to use your personal meeting ID. I strongly suggest that you use this for consistency with students. So here you have the option to copy the ID or copy the invitation of the meeting you have. This is one of the perks of the new system. You don't have to copy and paste. It automatically gets copied for the participants to have quick accessibility for you to send out the information. Now, there are some meetings, some features for scheduled meetings that you need to be aware of. First off, make sure with your title that it is something recognizable for you that you can access quickly. And I mean that by if you have two different subjects and you're meeting with your PLC, that you're able to see, and you're hosting all of these, that you're able to keep those organized. Normally the time duration is 40 minutes, but because of the global pandemic, they are extending that 40 minutes. So Zoom is very kind to do that. Another thing is recurring meetings. If I say I'm going to be with my Earth Environmental Science students, I have office hours from 9 to 11 every day, then Monday through Friday, then I will hit the recurring meeting button. And that will automatically set up for me. When it comes to meeting ID, I strongly suggest you stick to your personal meeting ID code. That just shows a lot of consistency. For passwords, do not require passwords unless this is some covert meeting that you are having. You're very specific to what you're doing. That's just one extra step that's really not necessary. For video, you are the host, so you and your participants can have access to video. If you just want it to be you, they'll be able to see you and no one else, then you will click them off. For audio, make sure that they have telephone and computer audio is checked. Two reasons. One, it gives them options, and we don't know if they choose internet audio, because that is an option for them, if that's going to eat away at their data plans, if they are still on those. And telephone also gives equal access to students, so as long as you can call in and listen, even if you can't see the screen, then you can hear the discussions or the teaching, whatever you're doing. Now over here, we're going to skip down to calendars because this is the same stuff we just went over. This can hook directly to the Google Calendar. Now your advanced options you're going to have is enable waiting room. And if I say I'm enabling a waiting room, it is just that, where people are going to wait until I get to the meeting. So if the meeting is set at 3:05 3 o'clock, and I am not there till 3:05, well, everybody's going to kind of be in a holding pattern at their own screen and waiting, so they will not have communication with each other. If you enable join before host, which I strongly do suggest, especially with our students, that you do so they have some time to talk to one another. So if they can join, if they decide to join a little early and then wait on you till you get there, that'll be fine. So if you call the meeting at 3, that means at 2:50 they can log in, they can have a little bit individual talk time, and then you can get started. Mute participants upon entry means when they come into the meeting, they may be able to see each other, but they will not be able to talk to each other. And they will not be able to talk to each other till you get on and change that. And then you have automatically record meeting on a local computer. So this is good for your desktop. I'm pretty sure this will still work with Google Drive as well. So when they automatically record the meeting to the local computer, you can always play that back for students later or post that on Google Classroom for your students to be able to deal with later. So if you're meeting at 1 for a lesson and students cannot meet at 1 for the lesson, they're working or whatnot, record it, post it on Google Classroom, and they'll still get the lesson. And even if you're not chatting, with screen share, this can still be beneficial. So when you invite people, if you use the Gmail service, it'll send an invitation and do everything for you. You can copy the URL or you can copy the invitation, either one. But I love this one better than the last version because before you'd have to highlight and copy and paste, and now it automatically will do that for you in this version. So you have email and you also have contacts. And again, if you logged in through Google, you should be able to have the contacts. We have noticed we had our home screen before. Now we're on that meetings tab we were talking about. So this will tell you your upcoming meetings, meetings that have been recorded. And again, you can go back and share that with students. And this will give you some other options for meetings. I've learned that this is what I'm calling a taskbar. I've learned that these are different depending on the device you have. And also mine's different because I'm the host. But everyone should have a mute button. I ask people to mute themselves if there's too much background noise. They have that option to do that. Stop video means it shuts down the video and you can't see if someone's like multitasking or it needs to go to the bathroom. Just hit stop video so we won't have to see you as a distraction. Invite people. If there's a separate invitation that needs to be made that was not made in the original, you can invite others. Manage participants is how many people you have. Share screen. Now share screen is different as well. Depending on what your device is, depends on what you can share. And you can also, when you click this one, it says share multiple screens. So your students can share, multiple screens can be shared at one time. So if you say, hey, guys, I want to see your 3 screens. What are you guys working on so far? Let's pull it up and talk about it. You can make that choice. Chat. Of course, there's a chat tab we'll talk about. Record. If there's a segment that you want to record, if you did not start recording from the beginning, this will be a good one. Breakout rooms is fantastic to take it from large groups or smaller groups, and you have the ability to bounce from room to room. And reactions are just your little emojis that you have. Let's just take a quick look at the chats, matter of fact. So I was the only one in this meeting, but host, that is me. I have the opportunity again to mute myself or to turn off my video. When it comes to other participants individually, I can chat with them. I can stop their video. I can make them a host if I have to leave the meeting. Then they'll get all the power to do what they need. I'm not sure about that rename feature, but I do like the remove feature. And in the settings, also if you remove a participant, that if you click the button in the settings, they can't come back. So once they're gone, they're gone. Mute all is every participant that is in the list, I can mute them. I can unmute them all. And there's a couple other things I can do as well. Here is where you want to show participants they can private chat between each other, or they can just ask the question of everyone. And also we've learned that there's files that you can include, but we're not sure which type just yet. A real quick mention, going back to your breakout rooms. Right now I have no participants assigned, but you can automatically have it done or you can manually do it depending on how you want it. If this is basically random, or I've hand selected this particular set of kids. And remember, you can go back and forth in between these breakout rooms. Here are some general meeting settings that I want to go through with you. The only thing here for me is I have dual monitors on the computer I mainly use, so if you don't have dual monitors, don't worry about it. Automatically copy invitation URL once the meeting starts. I would definitely go ahead and do that. The rest of it's just cosmetic, however that you would like to do it. Excuse me, in the chat, the only thing I think for me would be how your preferences are here, and that's your choice. Again, do you want to see all the meetings first, all the messages first, the ones that didn't get read, or you want to start from the latest? Your choice on that. Video, when you share screen, or not share screen, sorry, mirror my video, so the part that you have at the top of your device. I did touch up my appearance because you never know what's going to happen there. I would suggest always display participant names on their video, especially when you learn to who's talking and who's coming in and out of your room. That's a good one to know. When it comes to recording, again, recording video during screen sharing is so when you share your screen, that video recording still continues. And again, that's a preference depending on how you want it. All right, last but not least are some tips. When you're working with students, one of the things that was brought up is consider screen size. And that is, are they reading something on the computer? Are they reading something on the Chromebook? Or are they reading something on their phone? Because that makes a difference of the things that you can put up when you're working. Don't forget that there's a Chrome extension, a Google Chrome extension that they can download, makes it a little faster and connects everything. There is a whiteboard feature, don't forget that, and share. The phone has various features. So for the phone, I have an iPhone and I do not know with the new system if it varies. But for my iPhone, I can share a picture. But I cannot necessarily share a document, so it varies. And also, multiple screen shares can happen, so all the students can share their screens at once and interact with each other. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is all I have. Thank you again. I hope this helps. Please stay in contact, and I'll be more than happy to share more information as it becomes available with this new program.